Hello, welcome to today's live. If you're showing up live or even recording, I just want to thank you for being here. Today, we're talking about this one ingredient, this one thing that you need in order to create more profit. And I'm just checking to make sure this broadcast is working and looks good. Okay, so, when it comes down to it, new clients, sales, profit, all of these are byproducts of something. We think that they're the main thing, but they're really actually not the real thing. So before I get into this, where do you really put your focus? Or what are you alluding to, Eric? Before I share that with you, I want to talk about contrast first. I want to build a little contrast. You are a service-based business owner. Sometimes called a solopreneur. Some of you may be solopreneurs. There's a lot of variety within that. But if you're on your own, self-employed, trying to make it happen, no doubt you have probably experienced or are in the middle of all the things that there are to do. So what am I talking about? Well, one would be social media posts. Some people do it off the cuff. Some of you are taking an hour or two writing your social media posts every week, and then you're scheduling them or you're having an assistant schedule them. That's one thing. Another thing, maybe you're doing graphics, or if you don't have someone doing graphics for you, maybe you find yourself in Canva 2 or 3 times a week. And then if you're on Instagram, well, if you want to really get visible on Instagram, you have to use Instagram Reels. I actually tested this and did the silly, really, really short regular post, which I don't really focus much on Instagram, but if I do a regular post, it might get 17 to 50 views. That's not much. I did this random Instagram reel and it has gotten over 600 views and lots of hearts. So you may feel like if you're on certain networks that you literally just have to play their game, that wherever they're guiding you, that you have to do it. And some of you don't want to do reels because it does not fit your personality. And there's all these other things in contrast you can be doing, from blogging to running ads, getting an ad manager, virtual networking, tons and tons of things. So there's just all this stuff. And you know that it's really easy for a service-based business owner to get emotionally hijacked, because there's all the online hype. There's all the gurus telling us what we should be doing. And then perhaps you're getting hammered and hammered. If you're on Facebook a lot, you're probably getting hammered with different ads that promise you a permanent solution. And the total cost is $37 or $47. And so you are just in this huge maze, being constantly bombarded and being told, do this, do that, do this. And so today, on all stuff, because one of the main things that you have to manage as a business owner and your attention, valuable things you have as a business owner, or in other words, as a human being. So instead of all this stuff, I want to take us to a place where there's less hype and more heart. And so if you're feeling like you're in this maze, this labyrinth of all this craziness, and you're getting hit with multiple voices in different ways, today, what I want to tell you is so crazy simple, but it's going to give you a simple anchor where you can put your focus. And it is one that I am betting on that consistently produces more profit. Where do you focus? You focus on conversations. That is key. That is the key. In life, this is a shout out to Stephen Covey, but relationships are the most important thing in life. Relationships, okay, got it. Most important thing, relationships, got it. But what's the most important skill? The most important skill is communication. And where do those two things especially intersect? Where do they meet? They meet in the realm of conversations. Let me tell you a story. I'm reading this book called Trust Yourself, because that is one of my major goals right now, is to trust myself and for me to step out of all the marketing hype, want, how do I want to serve? How do I want to make a bigger difference? And so I'm reading this book called Trust Yourself. So this one guy in the book, he created a business plan. He was doing a full-time job in IT. He's quite brilliant. He was very well known. Now I'm paraphrasing, in IT full-time, like I said, very well known, incredible contacts in the industry, and he was working on a business plan to start a side hustle. His goal was to eventually have his side hustle grow, replace his 9-to-5 job. He exits out of his 9-to-5 job and has his own business. As that's actually the dream of many of you, or some of you achieved that. And so one day he hadn't seen one of his for a while, and he put down his business plan. It's like, here's a business plan, boom. And he was saying, like, I've done my pricing, and here's my packages and all this. And his friend said, well, how long have you been working on this? And he said, well, I've been working on it a year. And he was so excited because he was so detailed, and he was just really, really focused, and he wanted his business to produce and all this stuff. Now think about this. Here's the direction all this is going. And then his friend asked him this. Well, first, his friend pushed away the business plan. And his friend said, what about calling them today and asking them if they're interested in one of your services that you can provide? Now think about this. This guy's all in this world of my business plan and my packages and doing all this stuff, all this stuff, all this stuff, all this stuff. And you know, the crazy solution sometimes is the simplest one, and that is just you pick up the phone and you call someone, or you send someone an email, or you send a direct message. Because, and I've had business owners come to me. I've had several of them do the exact same thing. Like, they have created this architecture. This is going to work. Here's how I'm going to sell it. La 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 la. And they're really proud, and that's fine. They're proud. And at the same time, how about testing it? How about putting in the real world? How about having a real conversation? Unless there is a transaction, unless money is exchanged, it's not a real business. Not yet, anyway. It's all in theory until someone says, here's my credit card number. Send me an invoice, right? It's all in theory until it comes down to the real world where there is a transaction. Now, this being said, I want to ask you, what do you want? What do you want? Do you want more private clients? Do you want more sales? You know, if you're here, I don't actually work with retailers, but you know, if you have a retail store, you want to sell more products. Many coaches, consultants, expert speakers expert speakers sell digital products, digital courses, and some of those are done with you. And so for them, they want to sell more of those because that's how they can leverage their income more and really build up their profit. Maybe you want to create a mastermind, or maybe you have one mastermind and you want to start another. Maybe you want to launch a membership. Maybe you want to rebirth your membership and take it to a new level. Perhaps you want to be on podcasts. Maybe you want to sell your book. Maybe you want to sell art. Whatever it is, if it's an exchange between you and another human being, I'm encouraging you today to start focusing on conversations. Just have conversations. My stance is always that our main job, I don't know if you saw that, since there's like this huge flash of lightning. Anyway, my stance is that conversations is one of the main things if you really want to produce in your business and really want to impact people. So think about it. Between your dream and between where you are now, I know you're thinking like there's all these tasks and there's stuff to do and plan and and yeah, there are. However, what if you just view it through the scope of conversations? That think about it. There's a number of conversations that will happen between you and that end result that you want. Let me illustrate this. Let's say you've just started, you're 1 or 2 years into it. You want to hit, let's say you want to hit $50,000 a year. Awesome. There's a series of conversations between where you are now and you hitting 50K. If you want to figure a mark, $100,000 a year mark, once again, there's a certain number of conversations between where you are now and hitting $100,000. You know, think about it. You might be a phenomenal podcast that is by a lot of ideal clients. You know, between you and where you want to be, there's a number of conversations. So think about this. This kind of means that the more conversations you have, the better. The more conversations you have, the more collaboration takes place. Opportunities takes place. Let me give you an example of this. In my Conversational Leads Vault, which is a free resource, I'm going to be releasing a video. It's a ridiculously simple technique. So if you're on Facebook, your profile, I actually don't use Facebook too much on my profile for business, but there's a simple way to go through stories and implement something where you're reaching out to people. And so one day I thought, you know what, I'm just going to do this, kind of just like a blitz, connect, you know, leave a thoughtful comment or a message rather. And so I did that. And from that, I asked a friend, I said, hey, you have this new Facebook business page. What are you doing now? And so my friend Reggie, she said, well, here's what I'm doing now. And she explained her new business, everything like that. And she said, what are you doing in your business? And I told her. And so from this, now think about this. I started a conversation with her, a friend in Scottsdale, Arizona. Then she said, you know what, there's someone you've got to meet. I'll introduce you to her. And I said, will you do an introduction on LinkedIn? If she's on LinkedIn, I'd really like a LinkedIn introduction. And she said, yes. So Reggie did an introduction to a business owner who lives in Estonia. All right, then. She and I had a conversation. So we now have an event coming up next week on the 13th. And I'm going to tell you a bit about that in a second. Then from there, I want you to think about this chain of events and conversations. Hillary in Estonia said, you know what? There is this lady in China and you have got to meet her. I'll introduce you. Oh, great. Will you do an introduction on LinkedIn? If she's on LinkedIn. She is on LinkedIn. Okay, great. Boom. Introduction. Had a call with her. And now we're looking at collaborating on a phenomenal project in the spring. But think about the chain of events here. It was just conversations. I literally this at all. You know, my thing is if you're giving, you're winning. So just reaching out, engaging, interacting, that created something I never could have imagined. So next week, phenomenal opportunity for myself, Hillary, and everyone who attends this event. And then in the spring, if we choose to move forward with that event, it's going to be a phenomenal training event as well. So, you know, when you're getting all emotional, when you get emotionally hijacked from all this stuff, I just want you to take a second and just take a step back and remember that it is about having more. So with that, that is at the end of my live. That is one I want to share with you today. If you have any thoughts about this, feedback, put a comment below. I'll make sure it's shareable on whatever platform you're on. And before I get off here, I want to tell you about the event that's coming up on October 13th. So Hillary Torn of IntroWise and I are collaborating for a really fun event, and it's about LinkedIn lead generation. Now, LinkedIn, lead generation, who wants to hear about that? Nobody. However, we are going to take it to a place where it is completely completely relationship based, where it is authentic, and where it's permission based. So no automation, no bots, no spam, you being you and reaching out to people who look like your ideal clients. Now this is going to be exclusively on LinkedIn. It's not going to be shared anywhere else. And like I said, I'm going to be sharing 3 very, very simple and doable lead generation strategies. And it's not that you're just going to know how to do it. You're actually going to feel good about doing it. You're going to feel empowered because they're so simple. And really want to start having more conversations with, this would be a great event for you to attend. A free event, and you're not going to be on my emails. Hillary is not going to be emailing you 5 times a day. We're very respectful of you and your privacy. So if that's you, definitely hit the link below and let us know you're coming. So far, we have about 120 some people registered. And if you're thinking, you know, I can't make it when you're doing it live, make sure that you do register, because we will be sending you the link for the replay. So that is going on October the 13th. So that is it. The storm here has died down, and wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a phenomenal day, phenomenal evening. And I'm Eric Z. Johnson, and I will catch you soon. Bye-bye.